one of my favorite places in the world. So this morning we are here at Ecola State Park on the Oregon coast. As you can see, we didn't get much of a sunrise. It was more just kind of gloomy and gradually just got brighter throughout the morning. We're gonna hang out here for a couple hours probably. We're going to probably go back to sleep for a little bit. And that's the amazing thing about a van, is that you can wake up for sunrise, and if the sunrise isn't great, you can go back to bed. Okay, we did in fact go back to bed. Taylor said she wants pancakes, so that's what I'm doing. This is the closest thing we have to a bowl for mixing the pancake mix. I think we'll just have to do a tiny bit at a time. This is going to be a very slow process because we have one tiny pan and we have one tiny bowl. This view is so crazy. Okay, we're finally out of the van. We had a really nice morning and took it nice and slow, got some things done, and had a long breakfast, just relaxed and enjoyed the views from the van. But now we're out and we're going to hike around and find all the cool viewpoints of this beach. Ecola State Park is really interesting because it feels like you're pretty deep in the woods, especially if you get up there past where we hiked. But what's crazy about it is just this small stretch of land in between two cities that are very touristy, and there's a lot of houses, and it's really interesting how you can feel so far out but you're actually really close to things. So this spot we're at here is also in Ecola State Park, and it's just right down the road from Indian Beach where we were just barely at. Apparently they filmed a very famous scene from the Goonies right here. Here's a quick tip for you if you're ever coming to Cannon Beach. If you want to find the best parking for Haystack Rock, there's a few spots up here on the road directly next to the stairs that lead down to the beach. It saves a ton of walking versus parking in the normal parking lot. We quickly stopped by Hug Point, which is a super cool beach just south of Cannon Beach. It's got these caves and waterfalls tucked into the cliffs, and at low tide you can walk along the rock shelf where old stagecoaches used to pass. Then it was time to settle into our usual road routine. On work days like this, we like to drive for about 30 minutes and then stop somewhere pretty to work for 45 minutes. We just keep alternating between driving and working throughout the day, and it's actually a pretty effective way to cover a lot of ground while still getting things done. So right now we're passing through Rockaway Beach. It's a cool little town. It has like a downtown that's very walkable looking. It's definitely a good spot. But we're gonna stop for another 45 minutes to do some work. Then we'll move on to the next place. We just passed the Tillamook Creamery. It's actually a really cool stop if you're ever coming in this area. We made it past Tillamook. Now we're at Cape Lookout State Park. And this is one of the most beautiful parts of the coast that we've seen. So in the middle of summer, this campground has to be reserved like a year in advance because it's one of the best ones here. But because it's only May 14th, we're thinking it's not quite peak season, so there might be some availability. So we're gonna go find out and see if we can get a campsite right here close to the beach.
This is the campsite we picked. It is so beautiful over here. It is seriously crazy how pretty it is. This thing is literally so big.
We made it. We found a pretty good campground. I like this. So they have a whole bunch of these that are first come, first serve. They don't have RV hookups, unfortunately, but it's a really nice campsite and it's right on the beach. The beach is just right over there. We'll go take a walk on the beach and just have a really cozy night in the van. Yeah, this campground's not too bad. We got 3 great hammock trees right here. Got a little fire ring. picnic table. We'll take some really nice walks down to the beach. We'll make a good dinner and we'll keep getting work done. This is a much more relaxing way to spend the night than trying to be a little bit sneaky and finding somewhere to park on the side of the road. We're going to pay for our campsite and then we're gonna head over to the beach and show you guys how pretty it is here. We were considering doing a campfire tonight. We got kind of excited about the fact that we could do that, and we were gonna go buy some firewood from the front office. And then we realized we don't have any way to start it. We don't have any matches or a lighter. And when you fly, you don't have a lot of the things you usually bring with you camping. TSA will not allow that stuff. I never would have guessed that a campground would have Wi-Fi. So the campsite we're doing is just a normal tent site without hookups or anything like that. It is $25. This campsite also has these little cabins that look so cozy. They're right next to the beach. That would be so much fun. Yeah, it looks like these must be tent sites. They're right next to the ocean.
That's a crazy camping spot. We have been to a lot of beaches on the Oregon coast, and we never hear anybody talk about this one. We think it's so beautiful. There's multiple waterfalls right on the beach, and just the coastline is stunning. And the fact that you can come and pitch a tent right next to the water within like 20 feet of it.
What is that? Imagine for a second this is the middle of the woods. There's no campground, no people around, and you come up on this thing. What is that? That is creepy. Imagine seeing that in the middle of the woods. That's terrifying. I can't tell what it is. But anyways, here's those cabins I was talking about. Look how cozy that is. Okay, this is why we love the Oregon coast. This is like one of the most beautiful places we've ever seen. And there's not a single other person on this huge beach. It's just us. I don't know how many places you can do this. Gosh, that is so majestic looking. So it's super interesting, but there is actually not any waterfalls right now. They're dried up. So we'll insert a video of last time we came here, and there were multiple huge waterfalls that were so pretty. And I mean, this is amazing even without them. Wow, this really is one of the most underrated beaches in Oregon, I think. As you can see, there's not another single person. And this is the view. This right here, that goes out, it's actually a peninsula, so there's ocean on both sides of it, and it looks really, really cool from the air. So if you guys haven't already, we'd really appreciate it if you could pause the video for a second and go subscribe. We're really trying to grow this channel and we're having a lot of fun with it. And we can't wait to keep making some more videos. We have some really fun adventures coming up. We're gonna keep road tripping around the Pacific Northwest for a good while. And then after that, we're going to another state in the US, and then we're heading to Europe. And we have one-way tickets. We're spending our first week in Norway, then we're going to Paris, and then after that we're thinking probably Switzerland, but that's coming up very soon, and it's going to be such an adventure. The freedom that comes with a one-way ticket is crazy. We have no idea when we're going to come home or how long we're going to be there or where we're going to go. So go subscribe, we would really appreciate it, and we're going to have a lot of fun videos coming for you guys soon. Let's head back to the van and have a cozy night.
Get 'em.
A lot of these campsites in this campground are right next to each other and pretty crowded, but I feel super lucky with ours because it feels really private. There's huge trees around it, and there's nobody nearby at all, so that's a huge plus.
We're making chicken and rice.
I don't know that I've experienced anything quite as cozy as just nights in a camper van, cooking dinner, watching a movie. It's just so incredibly nice to have everything that you need just right here with you, and you get to do it in these pretty places. It's like everything that you usually do at home, but you get to do it here. Usually when we're traveling, we end up Usually when we're traveling, we end up eating out a lot and we don't feel that good and it costs a lot of money and stuff. But it's also really nice in a van how not only can we cook and it's convenient and stuff, but we get to eat healthy. Like we're just having chicken and rice and fruit. That'll make you feel a lot better than eating out at most places. So if you've been wondering how this bed setup works and you haven't seen our walkthrough video, I'll show you right here. We actually really like this setup. I think it's a lot better than a traditional bed because it gives us a place to hang out during the day while we're getting work done and things like that. So it's 2 couches, Taylor can sit there, I can sit here, rather than just having a bed, so you have to be laying down at all times. So you just pull these bars out. You just grab these, put them right on. And then we just fit a sheet over all of that and it just feels like one normal bed. It's actually a king size and it's really comfortable. We love everything about this van. We're gonna get to bed and we have a really fun plan for tomorrow. So we're really excited for that and we'll see you in the morning. All right, well, this morning we woke up from our campsite that we stayed at last night and we got all packed up and we dumped our gray water tanks and filled up our new fresh water. So now we're ready for a couple days off the grid camping. We pulled over this really beautiful pull-off that looks out over this huge beach. We're so high up and you can see so far. We're gonna stop and make some breakfast. And then today we're gonna go pretty far down the coast. It's gonna be a slow-paced day. We're just gonna kind of do whatever we feel like doing, and that's the beauty of a camper van and the Oregon coast, is that it's a very relaxing trip and a very relaxing way to travel.
Yeah, I had to convince Trey to stop at this spot so he could make breakfast. He thought it would be too unlevel, but that doesn't matter because it's a really amazing view.
Okay, so we're making some French toast. Oh, I looked up Oregon Coast News and I saw one of the towns we're going to, there was a river that comes from the ocean and somebody saw an orca in it last week. Okay, so we got all cleaned up from breakfast and now we're gonna start driving down the coast. What was it? Okay, this is Pacific City and I think this is one of the best hidden gems on the Oregon coast. Because this beach, the sea stack out there, it looks exactly like Cannon Beach, just like Haystack Rock. I think it's a little bit smaller, but you can't really tell. This beach honestly deserves all the hype that Cannon Beach gets. And it also has this super cool yellow rock formation on the other side too that's very unique, different than anything else I've seen on the coast. Well, it's still kind of raining. It's such a funny rain that they have here. It's like it's just mist. Can't see the rain, but my face is just getting wet from mist. That was so random. We were just walking on this beach and I look up and it's my second cousin.
Climbing down
Just, yeah, just climbing down this huge hill.
Gosh, I was thinking like it's kind of hardcore.
I know, just barefoot. We're freezing out here and she's barefoot. But look at this. Getting up close to this thing is super cool. I think most of the time this is underwater, but we're here at low tide, so we can come up here and explore a little bit. Oh geez.
Almost just got wet.
That's where Taylor was. So when the tide is high, all of this is covered by water. And then when the tide goes back down, then it leaves some things from the ocean. Like in this little pool, you might look in here and you can find like sea urchins or little fish and things like that. So it's really fun to explore, really fun for kids especially, but you can find some really cool things in there. And I think I should take back what I said back in the van. It is really, really beautiful, so cool. But I wouldn't say it's super comparable to Haystack Rock. Now getting up closer and seeing, it's not near as big, but it is really cool.
Everybody needs to see Haystack Rock at least once in their life, but if you have the extra time to drive a little bit south, we're probably like 2 hours away. This area is so beautiful. One of our favorites, like Lincoln City, Pacific City area.
This beach has some really, really nice homes on it as well. Just right on the beach. Can you believe that many people just live right here? If anyone watching this video
lives in a house like this on the coast. Invite us over to your house, please. Let us know in the comments what it's really like to live here, because we've always been so curious. It looks incredible.
Okay, now we've made it to Lincoln City. We stopped by the North Face outlet, which is actually really, really good. They have amazing deals. We didn't buy anything though. Okay, so we've decided that tonight we're gonna do a campfire on the beach. This is something we've wanted to do for such a long time. We've seen photos of other people doing it, and it seems like the coolest thing you could ever do, so we're super excited. So we're looking for some s'more alternatives. We don't want to do s'mores because we're just 2 people and we don't want to buy a whole thing of graham crackers and a whole thing of marshmallows. So we're trying to find something that could be smaller but still give the same vibes and taste super good. Okay, I think we found the perfect solution. S'mores cookies. So I'm envisioning somehow warming these up next to the fire in some way. I am so stinking excited for this. We've been coming to the Oregon coast for years, and literally every time we think about how much we want to do a campfire, we always see people doing it, and it just looks like such a great vibe. But we kind of assumed that the rules were probably a little too strict, or I don't know, we assumed that it would be harder than it is. And from the research we've done, it's pretty simple. Yeah, so right now it's about 6 and we're pretty much parked right here, and we're gonna work on some things while we wait for it to get dark, and then we'll go down and start building our fire.
We're actually doing it. Oh man, I was hoping there'd be other people down here doing this, but I don't see any. I feel a lot more comfortable if other people were doing it because we're not 100% confident in what we're supposed to do, but luckily we got a really nice night with the weather. From where we're at right now, there's no wind, there's no rain, and anytime you can say that, you're pretty lucky on the Oregon coast. Hey, this isn't a bad spot right here.
Hey.
Look at this. Dude, this is a perfect one.
We're doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Wow. Unless somebody else has already claimed it, I think this one's ours. And the van is just right up there. We're supposed to be about 50 feet from vegetation, and I'd say this works for that. And there's a fire ring, which makes it a little bit safer. There's a little bit of kindling already, which makes it easier. It's perfect. One other cool thing is our van came with camp chairs. Taylor, you've literally carried everything. What the freak? What was I doing? Our van came with camp chairs, and that makes things so much easier.
I was thinking like, oh, it's not bad. Okay, the wind is coming this way. Should we start on that side?
We got this firewood at the store. We got a little marshmallow stick that we're going to attempt to use for warming up our cookies.
They're s'mores cookies though, so.
It's the same thing. But
See, this is.
let's see how it goes.
We don't really want to spend like all the money to get all the s'more stuff because it all came in such big sizes, and we would have just thrown it away because we flew here.
Cookies, on the other hand, we will eat those all week, no problem.
Hey, and this might be like revolutionary. Like this might be the new.
This could be the new thing. Yeah, this should catch on. Where we're at is Lincoln City, and I don't know if you can see it, but way back there is called God's Thumb, and it has a really cool hike. We did it a few years ago. Right now it's about 8 o'clock, and it's supposed to get dark at 8:40, and I feel like you kind of want to do the fire in the dark, so I'm trying to decide if we should start it now or wait a little bit.
Start her up, babe.
Let's start it?
Yeah,
Let's do it. It's kind of funny. Usually when we're doing things like this, like camping and all that, we have our car with us, and we're coming from home, so we have everything we need. We have a knife, we'd have matches, lighters, but here everything we have was either already in the van or we went and bought it. So we kind of just have to make do with what we have. Not exactly the cleanest thing ever. Making this easy, we got some paper towels, so throw some paper towels down here. Picking up, gotta get some warmth on this thing. Can we get started on it? try our invention. Okay, so they're just they're s'mores cookies.
So good. I'm just gonna eat it.
So the goal here is to try and warm them up so that it's kind of more like a s'more. We don't really have any plan as to how we're gonna do that. If I hold it steady, I think this will actually work. Wow. Oh wow, it's getting a little burnt. It's actually warm. It's very warm. I need to do the other side now. This needs to catch on. This is the new thing. 2025 is the summer of campfire cookies. It's warm. It's way better than a s'more. What the heck? Oh man. That is the way to do it. You guys have to do that. Never do another s'more in your life. You gotta hold it very steady. What? What? Do you want me to make you one?
I was pulling it back to eat it.
S'more cookies were a complete success. You guys have got to try it on your campouts this summer. Yeah, we're gonna keep feeding the fire, and it's gonna get dark soon. Get the fire bigger. This is everything I was hoping that it would be.
I don't know if Trey already talked about this, but our home is about a 12-hour drive from here. So, and we've road tripped here like 4 or 5 times, just because we love Oregon so much. So we've never gotten a chance to like kind of chill while we're here. We usually come and try to see as much as we can in as shortest time as possible, because we're also we're full-time in school. So this is really nice to actually be able to like come sit on the beach. And we've always seen people do fires. Like you look around and you see a couple other people doing fires, and it is just it is like the greatest vibe ever.
10 out of 10 would recommend doing a campfire on the beach in Oregon. I really can't think of anything that could be better than this.
That's really good. And then we're just gonna go get in our van and just go find somewhere to park.
I love vans.
Be so comfy. Probably gonna make like a grilled cheese.
But like Taylor was saying, the greatest thing ever is that now after this super relaxing, awesome night by the fire, we get to go back to our van and we're gonna drive down about 20 minutes down the coast to Depot Bay, and we're gonna park right next to the ocean and sleep, and our white noise will be the waves, and that's just so amazing. We don't have to drive back to a hotel or something. I can't get over this van life thing.
I know.
If only we could have a van like that. Someday, I think.
If only we could dedicate ourselves to US only travel.
Right.
I think that we would get a van then.
You can't go to Paris in your van, you can't go to South Africa in your van, you can't go to, where else do we want to go, Antarctica, but there are a lot of places you can go for a van, so it's definitely something we're going to be considering. Let us know in the comments if you guys would prefer to see more US van road trip type content, or more content like our Italy trip and what's coming up in Norway and our last Scotland trip, and you know, some of those other things, New York City. Let us know what kind of travel you guys prefer, because we're still trying to figure that out for ourselves. We're gonna let this fire die down a little bit. One of the important rules with campfires here is that you have to put them out with water. So we brought water to put it out. You can't just cover it up with sand. We'll make sure to put this out really well. Take all the garbage out. Don't be like these people and leave newspaper and leave garbage laying on the beach. You don't want to be like that. Then we're gonna head back to the van and get to bed.